Of course, we're starting a new course, and as you know, all the courses are linked. And actually, what we'll be handling today and tomorrow actually is actually a very, very pertinent aspect of business, which is not a very long course. It's actually a course that maybe today we just cover in about 1 hour maximum, 1 hour 30 minutes. But it's a piece. It's a piece of marketing that I always prefer that I treat it differently. Either I'm leading a corporate training in a company, or I'm doing a one-on-one consulting with an executive, or like in an executive program like this. I prefer to treat that particular or this particular component separate, because it is a component that, if not treated well, or executives don't look at it in a singular manner, they get to miss out of it. And when you miss out in this particular piece of business, your business gets to struggle. And when you get to understand this piece, and most importantly, understand how to apply this particular piece in a particular business that you are managing as an executive, or you are the founder, trust me, you will see business in another direction. And when you don't understand this particular piece, sometimes you feel that you are doing a lot of hard work, you are putting in a lot of resources, but you are not seeing the kind of result that you expect or you desire, as far as profitability is concerned, or as far as general sales is concerned, before you start tracking your profitability. So I will advise us to pay attention as I walk us through this, and I would like you to ask questions as much as you can. Awesome. So today we are looking at customer acquisition strategy or customer acquisition model. In business, for you to succeed in business as an executive, it is very important for you to master the process of customer acquisition. And before we go deeply into customer acquisition, I would like us to lay the groundwork with this particular session, which I tagged from idea to money-making methodology, because this is the foundation of you building a customer acquisition model that produces result. And for you to do that, whether you already run a business, or you're still planning to start a business, or you are an executive in a multinational business like some of you here, the truth is that you are always turning around ideas. Let's say, for example, let's take Techno, for example. Techno is an African brand, mobile phone brand. And every year we expect, like now we're talking about Camon Premier 17, that's their latest product. And next year we'll be talking about Camon Premier 18, for example. So that is a company that is a multinational company, billion-dollar company. And every year they still create ideas and turn these ideas into products, and turn these products into a money-making component of the company. So idea here is beyond a business idea. It can be a product idea, it can be a service idea, it can be a corporate idea within a multinational business, with the aim of making the business better or more profitable. So I would like us to go through this, and let's start with this question. I love to always ask executives this particular question, and I would like us to talk here. Here's the question. You can see, of course, what can you sell to how many people to raise 500,000 francs in 1 month? Let's start with individuals right now. We'll go to company level. Let's start on your individual level right now. What can you sell to how many people to raise 500,000 francs in 1 month? Let me start with an example for me. Now, if I want to raise 500,000 francs in 1 month, I can design a coaching program for a particular niche of executives, for example, and I can tag this coaching program for 100,000 francs a coaching session, and I just need to find 5 executives in Douala who can pay for this coaching program, and I can be able to raise 500,000 francs in 1 month. right? That's an example. So I would like people to talk. What can you sell to how many people to raise 500,000 francs in 1 month? Remember, we're talking about customer acquisition model. Good. Yes, executives, entrepreneurs, talk. Or you want me to start calling names? Okay, people are quiet. Kiara, Honorine.
Okay, understand.
Yes, Kiara, go ahead.
Okay, sir. Basically, not solving one of the problems. I should like basically I'll be solving a sexual vitality problem, which I know it's a huge problem here, and I know of a target market I could. So probably posting an ad on Facebook, I could be able to sell my coffee to 500. That's 100 people in a month,
Uh-huh.
and I'll be 500,000 pounds.
Okay. All right.
Yes, sir.
Good. Good. Yes. Alain or McDonald. If I call your name, just unmute and start talking. Claudia. Yes, Alain, go ahead. When I call your name, you want to talk, raise up your hand. Remember that engagement is a very important part. Of course, when I call your name, not that we are tracking your engagement. Who was a phone problem? Okay. Honorine is still in a taxi. Yes,
Yeah.
Alain. Yes, McDonald, go ahead.
All right. What I think that I can sell to raise 500,000 francs to a given target of people. Actually, where I am, this thing, another business idea that we are trying to develop, which we actually started at a mini scale, but we think that if we scale up on seeing the demand is really going to, raise this and maybe above, which is. So let me just got some gunshots. So which is to supply layer, that's X and brawlers to university sector where we are, at least to a population of, on a daily basis, not less than 50. So if we do that, we'll be able to raise that amount.
Okay, good. Yes. I hear another person. Alain. Yes, Dean Alex, go ahead.
Yes, good evening, sir.
Good evening, Alex. Go ahead.
Yes, I happen to be in partnership with Aluminium and Glass Works. So I think I will just need 2 customers, and that will be all for me. Panels will not cost me less than 100,000 francs.
Okay. All right. Good.
Sir,
Yes, Claudia, go ahead.
hello. With my own estimation, it can go to 600,000. Should I say?
Yes. What is that? What are you selling, and to how many people will you sell?
Okay, a delivery service. If I'm to have it's a delivery service. If I'm to have 5 restaurants, I'm doing delivery in a day, which will give me 2,000 per day. 2,000 times the 10 restaurants is going to give me 20,000. In which in a month, 30 days, is going to give me 600,000.
Excellent. Excellent. Okay. Honorine says that Honorine says that she can sell 10 packs of her annual subscription package for accounting, recording, and tax follow-up services, and she can be able to raise 500,000 francs in 1 month. Okay, let's proceed. Now, of course, what can you sell to how many people to raise 1 million francs in 1 month? Now, for some people that have shared, you may understand that you may have to just double your effort 2 times for you to raise £1 million francs. For some people, you may have to add another service so you can become more valuable before you can raise £1 million francs in 1 month. And there is a level whereby you should be looking at, how can I raise 10 million francs in 1 month selling the services that I have to sell? That's how a business person thinks. How can I make more money at the same time that I used to make small money? It means you are more efficient, you are more productive. It means that you have mastered your model, you have expanded your market. It means that your customer acquisition model is very effective. What do I mean? It means that you are able to acquire new customers, nurture these customers, and upsell to these customers. Good, let's proceed. Now, for you to make money, follow this carefully. For you to make money, this is the methodology that I want us to talk about. For you to be able to run a good customer acquisition model, you need to understand this particular methodology of turning an idea into a money-making idea. Like, for example, Raisa is talking about having computer classes where she can provide computer training or computer programs to 100 staff or so and be able to raise 500,000 francs. Now, having the idea that you can train a group of people in Excel program is another thing. But the ability to be able to convert that idea of training the Excel program, Microsoft Excel, and raising 500,000 francs is for you to follow this particular methodology. And of course, in some cases, the methodology can be improved or it can change, but this is the standard. The first step is value creation. The first step is value creation. For example, in her case, she can decide that, oh, look, I am going to sit and I'm going to create a PowerPoint training on how to teach people to use Microsoft Excel very well as accountants, as managers, as executives. That's her creating the value. And she can do that and create case studies. She can go and gather data, gather sales numbers, gather tax numbers and all of that, use the content that she's gathering and create a course for it. That's value creation. Now, she now moves up to value capturing, which is the distribution of value. I hope we are following it carefully. Now, the distribution of value is a very important phase in customer acquisition. Now, the question she should be asking here is, how do I really distribute this value I've created? Maybe the best way I can distribute this value is that I am going to organize a Zoom class whereby executives and accountants from all over the country can come and learn the best Microsoft Excel program. Or maybe I'm going to partner with a higher institution and use their space to distribute the value that I've created in my house. Are we following?
Yeah, we are. I am.
Good. Now, the next step of this process, of this methodology, is value packaging. People buy package value that meet up their needs better. Now, follow me carefully. Now, Raisa can say, we're using Raisa as a case study to talk about this. Now, everybody listen to this carefully. Raisa can go and create a flyer and say, Microsoft Excel classes, right? Microsoft Excel classes. And she put the date of the classes, the venue of the classes, and all of that. What she has done is she's not doing value packaging. But she can package the value by saying, for example, she can now say Microsoft Excel training for student accountants, Microsoft Excel training for entrepreneurs, Microsoft Excel training for bosses in school, Microsoft Excel training for senior executives who have no financial background. Are you guys getting the difference? The last things I've shared, that's value packaging. She is packaging her Microsoft Excel classes to a particular market. And when you're able to package your value like this to a particular market, it increases your chances of customer acquisition. Good. This is another example. I think Boris spoke about ginger drink. Yes. Now, Boris can say, ginger drink is healthy, it's a healthy drink for people. But if Boris wants to practice value packaging, she needs to tell her the ginger to a group of people. She can now say, ginger drink for diabetic patients, or ginger tea for diabetic patients. Now that's value packaging. She can now say ginger tea for entrepreneurs. And she can now go on down and say, okay, ginger tea helps to relieve stress, helps to relieve anxiety, helps to relieve whatever that he has done research to do that. Now imagine an entrepreneur sees ginger tea, which reflects to him. It's clearly written on the package, ginger tea for busy professionals, or ginger tea for diabetic patients, or ginger tea for this and this and this. Now that's value packaging. When you do that, the killer business strategy here is that people will be able to buy effectively and make a quick buying decision because they see themselves in the value that you created. We now go to the next step, which is value monetization. That is you putting a price on value that you have created. And you are putting the price depending a lot on how the value is solving the problem of the customer. Like what Lambert spoke about yesterday, customer-centric. How is the value solving the problem of the customer? You look at that. How is this value fitting the target market? That is you putting a price tag on the value that you have created, on the value that you have packaged, with the understanding that this value is highly needed by the target market as per the packaging that I have done. So for example, this is one most some business people do. Let's go back to ginger tea by Boris. So Boris can say, ginger tea for diabetic patients, and then he packages different, indicates the benefits of ginger to diabetic patients and how to use it. And maybe he can put that package which has 500 sachets in it and say 10,000 francs. And then he can take the same tea and say ginger tea for busy professionals, relieving stress, anxiety, and all of that. And he gives a different package and write good recommendations there. Okay, you are recommended to sleep at least 6 hours a day. You are recommended to drink at least 2 liters of water. You are recommended to drink this tea every morning at 7 o'clock before you leave the house. Now, you see, that's value. That is value packaging and value creation you're combining to form all of this. And he now puts the same tea, which he has changed nothing. He has just changed the information and how the value is communicated and to a particular group of people. That's value packaging. And he now monetizes the same package and say 8,000 francs or 5,000 francs or 15,000 francs. Whatever he decides to do is his responsibility on how he decides to monetize the value that he created, he captured, he has packaged. Are we following?
Yeah.
Good. Now, let's go to the last part, the last component, which is value expression. No matter how good your value is, no matter how excellent you have packaged the value, no matter how good the pricing fit the target market, if you cannot express the value, it would not make any use. In other words, this marketing. Value expression is marketing. If you don't find ways to express your value, you will not be able to sell. So, and this is a very important piece. Marketing and sales are one of the most important components of every business. So as an executive, if your business is creating value, they're packaging value, they're capturing value, they're monetizing the value, you need to always make sure that marketing systems, marketing strategies, sales systems, distribution systems, public relations, all of these things make up value expression. Now, these things are not in any order, but of course, value creation is the foundation of it all. You can create the value, you can package it before you start thinking of distribution value, or you start thinking of how to monetize it and all of that. But all is that these elements make up a very important methodology as far as being able to tap the best from the value that your startup, your business, or you as an individual, like I'm saying individual, like a professional, like Honorine being an accountant, an accounting consultant, Kiara being a lifestyle consultant. That is personalized services that you provide. All of this goes for that, whether at an institution or an individual. Any questions so far at this stage? I need everybody to capture this.
Yes, I have
Good.
a question.
Yes.
I'm not very clear on value capturing
Yes.
as a distribution of value, what it really is. Because after you created the value, like you explained, after you put together the Excel sheet, that training program,
Yes.
what is the in between value packaging and value creation? Because it seems like it's a mix. The value capturing, I'm not really getting it.
So you have not touched value packaging and you have confused me. So what is the question now?
My question is, I have the impression that I don't see where value capturing comes in. Except I
Okay.
didn't get well.
Value capturing, as I said in bracket, the distribution of value. If you create value and the market cannot capture that value is useless. So value capturing is how will you distribute the value you have created? You understand? So I was giving examples like Zoom can be a platform for you to distribute the value. If you have designed, you have created the value of Microsoft Excel. If you sit in your house and you are not using Zoom to training somebody with it, you are not doing value capturing, right? If you don't have a training center where people can come and meet you and you train them, you are not doing value capturing. So you need to have a platform, you need to have a process, you need to have a tool that you can use to distribute the value to the target market. That is value capturing.
Okay, I get it. So what we are talking about here is outlining your distribution channels.
Good, as it says in the brackets, the distribution of the value.
Okay, I get it now.
Good. Awesome. I need questions from this particular. If everybody can get this, then today's goal is achieved. Because when we're talking about customer acquisition, it will be based on this foundation. So the question is, what do you have in mind that you don't understand? Maybe what is the activity that you're doing that you can term value creation? Like, trust me, since I developed this methodology, when I'm doing anything, any of my trainings, I always take this particular thing into concept. For example, let me take the Mini-MBA program. Now, value creation was the few months that I sat down and I was deciding, okay, which modules should I put in for the Mini-MBA program? I was consulting and asking advice from business executives in multinational companies like Union Bank, UBC, Facebook, friends who work in Microsoft. I was asking them, friends who work in United Nations, I was asking them, what do you think? Do you think that this will be valuable in a global market, in an international market? That was value creation. Then I'm sitting now and I'm designing the structure of the training, the PowerPoint. We are reaching out to the guest speakers to design their programs, to fit what we'll be teaching and all of that. You understand that all of that was happening around value creation, and it was not public. The flyer for the program was never designed at that time. That's why value creation will mostly happen behind the scenes. That I like to call it your engineering room. Now, from there now, we had to look at, okay, how do we distribute this value to people who are in Bamenda? People, some of you are joining from Bamenda, from Boya, from Limbe, from Yaoundé, from Douala, and you're scattered all over the country. Now, how do we make sure that you capture this value in a way that you understand what is the best way to distribute the value? Okay, we're going to use Zoom. Fine. So do we have the Zoom available? Do we need to buy a Zoom subscription and increase? We had to increase the Zoom license and bought so that we can take more students and record, have space to record more. You understand? Now, how do we ensure we capture the value for people who are not in class? Okay, we record it, upload it in a private YouTube channel and share to the class, and those who miss the class can follow up. We curate some videos and share to the class, and curate some professional links and share to the class for discussions and all of that. You see, that is it. Now, value packaging, if you look at the flyer, we indicated that the Mini-MBA program is strongly recommended for executives, for supervisors in companies, and for entrepreneurs, and all of that. We package to a particular group of people. Value monetization, okay, we put a price to it. You're going to pay 75,000 francs, you're going to pay this, and all of that. Value expression, how did we share this? We did email marketing, we did WhatsApp marketing on WhatsApp groups, we did Facebook marketing, and we reached out to company executives if they would like to send their staff to come and attend the program. Anything that we could do to do that. Now, when you do this, you are able to see how from the conception of any idea that you have to the beginning, you can be able to have a snapshot of how everything is going to work. And if you look at this value, this particular methodology, you will see that it's a smaller piece of the business model. You get the point? So, and that's why business operates in frameworks. The frameworks that you understand and you can use well will definitely help you to succeed as an executive. So always have the frameworks that can work for you. I love to deal in business with framework. What is the framework of marketing? What's the framework of sales? What's the framework of the finances? What's the framework of managing staff and all of that? Because when you leave things to chance in business, a lot of things will take you by surprise, and you will not anticipate maybe industry trends. You will not anticipate an upcoming competitor. You will not anticipate a challenge that may happen, and you don't have a way to solve it. Like, for example, we anticipated, okay, there are some students that will not be able to attend the live class because of network issues. Okay, how do we solve that part of distribution? Okay, record the classes and get them on YouTube and upload after the class for people who missed the class to follow up before the next class. Are we there?
Yes.
Okay, good. Any question before we continue?
Yeah, I have a question.
Yes, please shoot. Are you there? Shoot.
Yeah, I have a question.
Yes, please go ahead.
All right. This value creation is dependent on you being able to spot your ideal customers, right?
Great. Yes.
Now, my question is, how do you avoid, false positive feedback from your customers or from your potential ideal customers?
How do you avoid what? I didn't get that part. Hello? I think Donald is having issues with network.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. Please ask the question again.
All right, my question is, how do we avoid false positive feedback from maybe our ideal customers?
Okay, like you mean them claiming that the product is good when they're just claiming they're not sincere? Is that what you mean? Oh.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I got to. So I was asking a question back to understand your question. So I was asking, do you mean like customers giving feedback and claiming maybe the product is nice, meanwhile they're just pretending to you?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. I don't think that I don't know how you're able to discover that, but the truth, like I mean, what I mean is I don't know how you're able to discover whether somebody's falsifying feedback, except close friends, of course, and family members. Maybe they'll just say, okay, you know what, and man will just celebrating what they do. But the truth is that in feedback, if you are really open for feedback and asking for feedback, it is hard for everybody to give you false positive feedback. You understand? And that is why
Yeah.
it is always encouraged that get feedback in anonymous form as much as possible. Because in anonymous form, people give you their heart, people give you their sincerity. And feedback, it is recommended also that executives and entrepreneurs should take feedback with the mindset of learning, not with the mindset that somebody uh, um, somebody may actually give feedback just to hurt you, not being sincere, but just to be negative. But as an entrepreneur, you are always looking at feedback with the intention of where is the deficiency? Where is the recommendation for us to increase the value of what the customer wants? Because if some feedback, the customers may just pinpoint a deficiency in something that you have built. In another feedback, what the customer is saying is that, look, the phone is good. I like the camera, but please, I will need a camera that can fly and snap me. They are telling you that, okay, you know what? Go back to the innovation board and bring another additional feature into the phone. Like for example, in the phone industry has evolved because of the feedback that users give, saying that, okay, we want this, we will like this feature, we will like this, we will like this. So producers continuously increase all of that. So try to push for feedback in a diverse way and try to get their feedback in an anonymous format. You get a point? That way people don't tell you things based on, that's why that was the concept that led to suggestion box for customers, where customers just write what they want without writing their name necessarily. For those who want to do, they can do that. But to encourage the ability of people being open in how they give feedback about the operations of the business or how the product is or the service is serving the business. But the best feedback is when it is in a larger scale, not the 1,000 feedback and all of that, because in a natural society, it is hard for 10, 15 people to give the same thing, maybe to please you, right? So it's always encouraged that you should stretch your feedback in diverse segments and diverse group of people that are consuming from you. Maybe you can try to break it into ages. So for example, I would love to get feedback from students who are below 25. I would love to get feedback from young professionals who are already working, who are 30 and above. I would love to get feedback from parents who are 45 and above. When you're able to get feedback from different classes of people, it helps you to be very, very, to have the right data that you can use to improve either your business system or the product itself.
Oh. All right, thanks. Thanks very much. Because actually, it was a friend asked me the question, and the 2 points I simply gave him was that he was about launching a product. The first I told him that avoid, acquaintances, like close acquaintances.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second was avoid talking to people about the product. So talk to them about the problem that the product seeks to solve.
Yes. Yeah.
So, but I think
which is very important. Which is very important because sometimes the second advice is very, very important. Why? Because in trying to, when you are in the prototyping phase of launching a product or test marketing the value you have created, it is very important to ensure that in your communication, you're trying to make sure that the customer understand the problem they're going through and let them accept. They may not accept, yes, like, okay, I have this problem, but there's a way that you can ascertain in the sales conversation that there's a problem. And in that conversation, you now introduce that you have a solution for that problem. You get a point? Because when you do that, you are able to ascertain whether, first of all, is this product a nice to have for this particular segment of the market, or the product is a must have. Whatever you ascertain, it enables you to design a better marketing system that can influence people or inspire people to make their buying decision.
Yeah, thanks very much.
Okay. Any other question? Comments before we proceed? Okay. Let's talk something about the killer strategy as far as turning an idea into a money-making business is concerned, which is the first foundation as you focus on building your customer acquisition model. We started talking about this earlier, where I believe that one of the most powerful killer business strategies, which I have seen worked for my clients, I have seen other business people do it, is package the integration and alignment. Now, let me use a global example, then I use a local example for us to understand this particular strategy. And you see how companies are using it. If you look like Facebook, you know that there is Facebook for business and there's a general Facebook that people are using, right? There is general WhatsApp and there is WhatsApp for business. There is Google and there is the Google that has Google Workplace that has particular tools that only working executives and professionals have access to and they can use. Now, this is package integration and alignment, whereby even global companies are using it, where they are able to design particular products and package it. They create the value, they package the value to fit a particular market or let that value align or integrate with a particular market. Let's go again to laptops. For example, you know that there are some laptops that are made specifically for people who play games, who play video games. The laptops have special screens, have special video cards and all of that. There are particular laptops made specifically for video editors, movie editors, and so on. These laptops have higher video dimensions and recording dimensions and so on. That is creating value, packaging that value and integrating it into a particular market for the needs that they have. That is a killer strategy in turning an idea into a money-making business, because you are putting the target market, you are putting their back on the walls. Okay, you know what? This product is made for you. It has everything you complain about from an average product. So if you get this product, your problems are solved. Now, let's come back to a restaurant, for example. A restaurant can decide, and there's general food, and they start making it. Notice that, okay, there's a rise in people who are vegetarians, and they can decide to start cooking food for vegetarians in a restaurant. And they can even create a section for vegetarians where they come sit and eat. For example, I saw that, I think was in South Africa or something. And that restaurant was like the only restaurant in that town that was doing that particular thing. And people were flocking inside, tourists who are coming in from other countries like Indians, Chinese who are vegetarians, they were coming, and that's the only vegetarian shop, and they go to that area. So they create the value for vegetarians, they package it to them, and they announce it to them that we are a vegetarian restaurant. Are we there? So for those of you who are building products, many businesses get to confuse or struggle because they build general products. General products are good, but the truth is that it has a certain limitation. Why? The first limitation is that a competitor can kick you out of the market at any time if they bring a better performing general product than yours. But when you have a well-created value, packaged and integrated to a particular market, a competitor will need to work extra hard to get to your level, get the attention of your customers, or divert the customer loyalty of your customers. So this is a very important part for us to pay attention to. Now, here's a recommendation for this particular strategy. I always recommend that it's important to present 3 packages to the client, with each subsequent package offering incrementally more value and priced higher to reflect this value. Let me give an example. I think I will use Honorine. Okay, Honorine spoke about annual subscription for accounting, recording, and tax services. Now, Honorine can decide and frame this into 3 packages. Package 1 can be, I will come to your business and do accounting, recording, and tax services once every 3 months. And that will be 4 times a year. And you only get to pay me 50,000 francs a year for this service. That's package 1, for example. Package 2, now this is Honorine doing a presentation to an entrepreneur or to a business owner. Let's say doing it to Alain or to Donald. She now goes to package 2. Package 2, I am going to come do accounting services for you every month. That is, I'll come to your business 12 times a month, focus just on accounting services, and you pay me just 25,000 francs a month. And you can pay me every month, you can pay me in 2 installments a year. Now, the 3rd package will be, I'll come to your business every month. I do your accountancy, accounting services. I do your tax calculation and declarations, including sale pairs and all of that. I do financial advice, analysis and advice to your board of directors during your monthly board meetings. I do this every month, and this service costs 3 million francs a year. Now, if you look at how I've broken it down, package 1 has lower value and has a lower price. In package 2, I stepped up the price and I stepped up the value. In package 3, the value is increased and the price is increased. I always recommend that. I have seen this work on my coaching program seriously. When somebody inbox me for coaching, I don't just tell them, oh, for your problem to be solved, you need to pay for a coaching package of 300,000 francs or 100,000 francs or 50,000 francs. The point is, I love this particular strategy because at first sight, you may never know the bargaining power of your client, and you never know what they are willing to pay for. So when you're able to give them 3 packages, it helps them to make a decision. 1, they're making a decision based on the problem they have and the value that you can bring and solve that problem. Number 2, which is very important in Africa, they are making that decision based on their purchasing power. Do I have the capability to pay for honoring service if I take the 2nd package or the 3rd package, or I should just go for the normal package and start from there? And as the relationship goes on, Honorine can start upselling to the same client. And if the client's purchasing power is increasing and Honorine is giving the client a good customer experience, the client can decide to buy package 2 or package 3. Are we there?
Yes, yeah.
Good. So it is important to pay attention to this. Now, if you look at another example, let's take global again. When Apple launched, let's say Apple 12, there are always other versions of Apple 12 that is not the primary Apple 12. There are other Apple 12X, Apple 12 this, Apple that. Apple does that, although they don't market those ones as much as they market the primary Apple. But the aim is that they want to create Apple that other people can relate and be able to afford. This is a killer business strategy, when you are always able to provide value and give people the chance to be able to choose, especially in the African continent, where people pay attention a lot to their income and purchasing power and to their basic needs before they are able to buy certain things. So pay attention to these elements as you work hard to acquire customers. Number one, offer value to people with different options. I've explained that. I'm just breaking it down now. Number one, offer value to your target market with different options. Don't be too rigid. We're now in a highly customer-centric business environment where agility is a core business skill. Agility means that you are able to offer value with different options to a particular target market. Let them make their buying decision based on the value that you are giving them. Number two, find and master your most requested service or product. Yes, even though you are giving people different three options, but you know that there is this particular option that people go up, come down, come down. They will always like that option. Some even like it and say, chat, but I like that package 3, but I say money no day. They'll always tell you. And when they keep saying that, you're collecting this data and you're making up your mind, how do I master how I present this service in a way that people see more of the value than how much it costs? How can I master this service and begin to look for more markets for this service in a way that people can see this service and buy, than having people that will admire the value but will not have money to buy? You're looking at that. Number three, make a complete list of all extras you can give clients and put value on the extras. I'm going to explain. Make a complete list of all the extras you give clients and put value on the extra. So example, for those who have ever bought a course from me, I don't think I've ever given you just a course you buy. If anybody ever bought a course from me, I have some courses that I've designed that are free gift. When you buy a course from me, I always give you an additional gift. And when I give the additional gift, I always say in the email or in the message, oh, I'm happy to give you an extra course that costs 3,000 francs for free, or an extra course that costs 5,000 francs for free, right? When you do that, what is that? Always over-deliver. In business, it is recommended to over-deliver. It's recommended to go the extra mile. Let people see that, you know what, you are able to go above and beneath to see that you deliver the value that they need. So it's always recommended that you find the extra value that you can give to the target market. Number four, deciding what to include in your packages take time and requires an understanding of the target market. I'm telling you, very important. If I tell you the time that we took to be able to determine which course, which model, which element of business to train or to teach in this MBA program, several months. Tell you the time that I took to select the guest speakers who will be coming to come speak to you. It took a couple of weeks because we had to make sure that we are picking the type of people that will actually come and deliver the right value to you. And so never be in a haste. That's why sometimes there are some of my coaching programs or consulting programs that are taking me 3-4 years for me to perfect it to be good in a way that people start paying for it seamlessly. At the beginning, you may start, it is hard, it is difficult. Like for example, this mini-MBA program, there will be a time that we're going to have 100 students in class, 200 students in class, because the more we do it, we're going to perfect it. We're going to master how to market it. We're going to master how to express the value. We're going to master how to package it. We're going to master how to deliver it. And we're only going to get better. And in the process, you are able to get more people that can buy it. For example, when Facebook started in 2008, they didn't have 2 billion accounts or 2 billion users like they have today. When MTN came in Cameroon, they didn't have that. Remember when mobile money started, people didn't like it. They would prefer Express Union to use. But you know, MTN took time to be able to gain our trust in their marketing, in their model, in their processes. They gain our trust and they kicked Express Union out of the market. There are many examples that we can give. Emails, for example. When emails came, people didn't like me to use it. People still love sending letters. But as time went on, people started paying attention to it and learning how to use it. So deciding what to include in your packages takes time and requires an understanding of target market. Let me share a global experience. For those of you who know Starbucks, Starbucks is one of the largest coffee makers in the world, Starbucks. And before Starbucks was able to succeed in China, it took them 8 years. Every year they were failing. Every year they were failing to succeed. And it took them 8 years before they were able to win in the Chinese market. There are many people who know about, I think it's Elon Musk Tesla, the electric car that Elon Musk is selling now, which is making him one of his companies making him the richest people in the world. When Elon Musk started these electric cars in 2011 or so, I mean, people didn't see that. People didn't see the future of electric cars. But he took time. What to include the electric cars, the tires, the engine, the interior, all of that. He spent a lot of time to making sure that whatever is required fits in the car, and he didn't do it overnight. And that's why he never designed an excellent product overnight. He never designed an excellent process, standard operating procedures overnight. You need to always respect the place of time and the place of hard work, commitment, and design for you to achieve that. Number 5, you need to decide how best to package your services to reflect the value that is important to your client. We spoke about this. You need to decide how best to package your services to reflect the value that is important to your clients. Yes, how Boris decides to package his ginger tea is very important in a way that it reflects the value that a diabetic patient, or whoever that sees ginger as a medicinal tea, how they will look at it is very important. How Honorine decides to package her accounting services to a startup entrepreneur who is just making about 30,000 francs monthly income. It's not the same way she can package it for a medium-sized business that's making 5 million francs income. You see, so you need to decide how best to package your services to reflect the value that is important to your particular client. And number 6, of course, ruthless consistency in marketing. You need to be a rebel when it comes to marketing. You need to be massive. You need to be crazy. You need to be a soldier as far as consistently marketing, ruthless marketing, rebellious marketing. You need to be crazy at it, because this is a core component that if like you do the rest very well and this part is not there, you are going to struggle. Whatever you have designed will be good, will be excellent, but it will not be profitable. The sales will not be good because you're missing this particular important piece. Conclusion. To scale in making money, pay attention to 3 things: packaging, pricing, and distribution. Packaging, pricing, and distribution. I'm not saying that value creation is not important. It's very important. Everybody can create something. I've never seen guys who create amazing things in the quarter, but nobody knows about them. I like to use examples of musicians. Somebody will sing a very good music and it ends with memory cards in the quarter. It doesn't leave their quarter. It doesn't mean that they are not talented. They are talented, but they have not mastered how to push. They don't master the distribution model. They don't master how to package themselves or the music, or how to position themselves and get paid for what they're doing, the pricing. So if you want to scale in making money as an entrepreneur, as an executive, you need to pay attention as you try to acquire customers. Pay attention to how you package your value. Pay attention to how you price the value. Pay attention to how you distribute the value to your target market. When the target market is able to capture the value that you have created, you will be very, very successful in business, and you'll be able to scale in whatever that you are doing. Questions? Questions? Okay, now to add, as we conclude this session, I would like us to discuss about in the WhatsApp group, where it is very important for executives to master how to package their value. Many business people many institutions struggle because they struggle to package. If you look at a global company like Apple and Samsung, if you look at how in the last few years, last 10 years or 5 years or 7 years, how Samsung and Apple have created a spellbound in a way that every year people are always anticipating their latest products, their latest MacBook, their latest iPhone. That is the power of value packaging and creating a buzz around it, creating a sensation around it that increases anticipation and people's desire to actually consume what value that they have created. So I would like us to discuss this in a WhatsApp group as an engagement stuff. I would like people to, I gave an example of how Risa can package her Microsoft training programs to different markets, how Boris can package his ginger to diabetic patients, entrepreneurs who are stressful, whatever. You know how your product can serve different classes of people. Start paying attention to that. We spoke about how Honorine can package her accounting services to a startup that is just making maybe 50,000 francs a month, and to a small business that's making £1,000,000 a month, and to a medium business that's making 10 million francs a month. There are different packages. The way she can package to a non-profit and the way she can package to a standard company, that's different. The way she can package to a limited liability company and the way she can package to a sole proprietor business is different. All of that. When you master that, we now start talking about distribution. How do we distribute this value in a way that our target market capture this value, understand the value, consume the value? Okay, so when this is very important, when we understand this, tomorrow we'll now look properly now. When you understand these principles for today, how now do you acquire customers? What is a perfect customer acquisition model that I can use for my business? I can recommend for my company where I currently work that can enable them to be sustainable and to succeed and remain competitive in the market for a very long time. Any questions or comments?
I have a question.
Yes, please, shoot.
If you're in a business where your value creation stage, is a key. For example, let me say my ginger drink, and you see that the main source, raw material source, takes you so far from your targeted market. Like you can only see that, let me say, in somewhere around Sabongari, and then you have to live there and then try to produce it there before transporting it to your targeted market, and you're competing in a field where the prices are somehow homogeneous. So where do packaging, pricing, distribution comes in?
Good. Now, that is in this case, we are handling just a particular part of the value chain, right? Now, this is a stage whereby when you are in business right now and that is happening, you start thinking of how can you get maybe a better place where you can get your raw materials, or consequently, how can you control your own raw material source, right? And that is why you look at many giant businesses. One of the biggest strategies that took them to the top is being able to control the source of the raw material. Why? Because your raw material directly affects the final selling price of your product, right? Because how much you acquire the raw materials, or how much you incur to transport the raw materials from Sabongari to where you are before you start processing, all of these overhead costs, and we'll see that tomorrow. We're going to look at the calculation, how to calculate the cost of acquiring a customer. You're going to see that that will be there. So as if you're already in that stage, where you are already facing challenges in acquiring raw materials on time, or you're spending more money to get these raw materials on time, you need to start thinking now a step ahead in terms of owning the value chain. How can you own the value chain? By, for example, having your own ginger farm, or looking for new areas closer to you where you can find somebody who is farming ginger, make a partnership with them, or for example, make them a co-founder. That's why you see some large companies that they bring some people on and they make them co-founders, because these people own a very important piece of their supply chain in a way that if they're able to own this person working for them, it greatly helps them to be able to have a sustainable business. Okay, there's a follow-up question, right?
Yeah, thank you very much for the answer.
But what do you do at the inception when you haven't even scaled? Good. Again, very true. Because at the inception, if that starts happening and maybe you are still struggling to break even, it can be a very tricky situation for you to be in. So one of the best options, because information too is very important. Maybe you're the amount of information you have of where you can get raw material is limited. For example, it's possible that your mind can be narrowed. Okay, you know what, raw materials can only come from Sabongari. I'm giving an example. But you can say look and change. So look what, let me try to analyze. Is there a way that I could find raw material in any other town? Or maybe outside the Northwest region, you can go to the East region, the West region, and just find out where are other places that I can get ginger apart from the Northwest region. That will help you to be able to have a better option, because at some point it is hard for you to start thinking of owning an ecosystem or a value chain like cultivating your own ginger, having your own farm and so on, when you're still at the inception stage, you are not break even and you're still struggling. So you need to keep seeking ways that you can get the raw materials at a better price. So, and here, carrying out raw material research is very, very important, to have many sources of or many ideas of where you can get your raw materials and at what cost and at what time can it be delivered to you.
Thank you very much.
Excellent. Good. Thank you so much, Alain, for sharing those tips. Alain is very good at agriculture, so that's one thing that if you're in agriculture, also reach out to Alain. Alain can give you practical ideas. All right, everybody. So I would like everybody as an assignment, please do design packaging. Package your value. I would like to see examples of Boris packaging the final product of his ginger to a particular target market, targeting diabetic patients, targeting young people, targeting whoever. You know your product better, you know who your product can serve better. I would like to see that package your product, and I'm talking about 3-4 people, and send us an assignment. And I would like to see this discussion in the group. So for everybody, if you don't have a business, you work for a business, you don't work a business, pick a startup around you, pick a small business around you, and package for them, create structure their value for them, package it, give it a name if possible, right? And structure it and go a step further and indicate how will you deliver the value to the target market. What is the value capture system? How are you going to get the value to the target market? Put that in an email, a PowerPoint presentation, email it, and we'll talk about it tomorrow, because tomorrow we're now looking at properly, when you have understood, you have gone through this methodology and it's well understood, how now do you practically now acquire customers, and what is the cost of customer acquisition, and how does that influence a couple of business elements and your profitability as far as the business is concerned. Okay. Are we good?
Please come again with your assignment.
Okay. the assignment is, I would like people to create 3 packages for their products or services. Like you create 3 packages for 3 different markets for your accounting services and tax services, right? And then go further and create a distribution channel. How are you going to distribute the packages you have created to that particular target market? Do it in a PowerPoint and send to me. And any experience you're having designing that, let's talk about it in the WhatsApp group. It's going to be very interesting. People are going to learn and we co-share together. Yes, Donna has shared that. Create 3 packages for your service or product and create a distribution channel. As simple as that. Thank you so much, Donna. Also share in the WhatsApp group. All right, people. Thank you so much. Tomorrow will be very exciting, very straight to the point too. But we're going to learn a lot together as we share tomorrow. Do have a good night. Yes.